The Galactic Council's military inspection team had seen armor from 1,000 worlds. They had examined the crystalline shells of the Vexthar, which could deflect plasma fire with prismatic efficiency. They had studied the adaptive nanoweave of the Krell, which hardened on impact to absorb kinetic energy. They had documented the quantum phase plating of the Zelthari, which existed partially out of sync with normal space-time. But they had never seen anything quite like what the humans called tactical gear. Commander Yelshara of the Korvathi Dominion stood in the human armory aboard the UNSC carrier Indomitable, her 4 eyes blinking in sequence as she tried to make sense of what she was seeing. Beside her, tactical analyst Threxmal took rapid notes on his neural recorder, his translator struggling with some of the terminology. "This is your standard infantry protection," Yelshara asked, holding up what the humans had identified as a plate carrier. The human armorer, a grizzled woman named Master Sergeant Sarah Chen, looked up from the equipment she was organizing. "That's right, Commander. Standard issue for ground operations." Threxmal's sensory tendrils quivered with confusion. "But Commander, the actual protective plating comprises less than 30% of the total mass. The rest appears to be storage compartments." Chen smiled, a gesture the aliens had learned indicated amusement rather than aggression. "You could say that." Yelshara ran her manipulator appendages over the vest, counting the pouches. Front panel, 6 magazine pouches, each holding 30 rounds. Side panels, more pouches containing medical supplies, grenades, communication devices, and what appeared to be compressed ration bars. The back had a hydration reservoir and still more attachment points. "I do not understand," she said carefully. "Your species discovered kinetic weapons make excellent armor redundant, yet you carry minimal protection and maximum ammunition. This seems inefficient. Why not enhance your armor's protective capabilities?" Chen's smile widened. "Because armor only matters if you're getting hit, Commander. We prefer not to get hit." "All combatants prefer not to be struck by enemy fire," Threxmal said, his tone patient. "That is why armor exists." "Sure," Chen agreed. "But here's the thing, armor is heavy, slows you down. And if you're slow, you're easier to hit. Our philosophy is different. We carry enough protection to survive long enough to eliminate the threat, and we carry enough ammunition to make damn sure we can eliminate it." She walked over to a wall display and pulled down another vest, this one even more laden with pouches and equipment. "This is what our special operations teams wear. Even less armor plating, even more carrying capacity." Yelshara's translator must have malfunctioned. "Less armor for your most elite warriors. They move faster, fight longer, and carry enough firepower to level a city block if needed," Chen explained. "See, most species in the galaxy developed armor to survive longer in firefights. Humans developed tactics to end firefights faster." Threxmal's skin changed to a pale blue, indicating deep thought. "But the statistics from the Battle of Kepler 442b show human casualties were among the lowest of the coalition forces, despite engaging the heaviest enemy concentrations. We assumed you possessed superior armor technology." "Superior ammunition management," Chen corrected. She pulled out a human rifle, the weapon looking almost crude compared to the elegant energy weapons favored by other species. "This is an MA-5C assault rifle. Fires 7.62 rounds at 900 rounds per minute. With the ammo loadout in that vest, a human soldier can maintain suppressive fire for approximately 4 minutes of continuous shooting, or engage targets selectively for hours. But energy weapons have unlimited ammunition, drawing from power cells that last days," Yelshara protested. Chen nodded. "True, but energy weapons have to recharge between shots, overheating issues, limited rates of fire. A human with a kinetic weapon can put more rounds downrange in 10 seconds than most alien infantry can in a minute. We don't need to outlast the enemy, we need to overwhelm them." She walked them to a tactical display showing footage from various human engagements. At the Battle of Proxima Station, human Marines were outnumbered 3-1 by Kreshtak warriors. The Kreshtak had better armor, better shields, better physical strength. They should have won. The footage played, showing human soldiers moving in coordinated teams, their weapons chattering in sustained bursts. The Kreshtak, magnificent in their powered armor, advanced confidently, until the sheer volume of fire began to find weak points, overwhelm shields, and force them into cover. "Your soldiers never stop firing," Threxmal observed. "Even when repositioning, some maintained suppression." "Exactly," Chen said. "That's why we need the ammunition. Each squad has a machine gunner carrying even more, usually 800 rounds minimum. Their armor is basically a harness for carrying ammo belts." Yelshara felt a chill run through her thermal regulation system. "You sacrifice protection for offensive capability." "We sacrifice the illusion of protection for guaranteed offensive capability," Chen corrected. "Look, Commander, I've seen soldiers in full battle armor take a plasma bolt and survive. I've also seen them pinned down, unable to move, eventually overrun because they couldn't return fire effectively. Armor gives you time. Ammunition gives you victory." She picked up a bandolier of grenades. "And these aren't just for show. Every human soldier carries fragmentation grenades, smoke grenades, flashbangs. We don't just shoot our way through problems, we blast through them." "This explains the human reputation for persistence," Threxmal said slowly. "Other species describe your soldiers as relentless. They report that human fire never seems to diminish, that you attack with a fury that is both terrifying and seemingly inexhaustible." "That's the idea," Chen confirmed. "In training, we teach our soldiers that they should feel naked without at least 210 rounds on them. Most carry more. Some carry much more." Yelshara examined a human combat helmet, noting its relatively thin construction compared to Korvathi battle helms. "And this protects against what exactly?" "Shrapnel, glancing shots, blunt force trauma. It'll stop small caliber rounds and give you a fighting chance against larger ones. But mostly," Chen tapped the helmet, "it keeps your brain in your skull long enough to keep fighting, because that's what humans do, we keep fighting." She gestured to the rows of equipment. "Every piece of gear a human soldier carries is chosen for one purpose, to extend their ability to engage the enemy. We can survive for 72 hours on what we carry, fight for days without resupply, and every single item from our medical kits to our ration bars is designed to keep us in the fight." "You are a species of warriors," Yelshara said quietly. "We're a species of survivors," Chen corrected. "On Earth, humans didn't start at the top of the food chain. We climbed there. We learned that the best defense is a good offense, that mobility beats armor, and that overwhelming firepower solves most problems. We brought that philosophy to the stars." Threxmal was reviewing his notes, his color shifting to a concerned amber. "Commander Yelshara, the implications of this doctrine are significant. Human forces are structured around sustained offensive operations, not defensive attrition. Their logistics, their training, their entire military culture is built around carrying more ammunition than seems reasonable and using all of it," Chen finished. "Yeah, we've been told we're insane, that we're reckless, that we don't value our own lives," she shrugged. "But we're still here, and most of the species that said that aren't fighting anymore." Yelshara carefully set down the plate carrier, her appendages trembling slightly. "Master Sergeant Chen, I believe we need to revise our assessment of human military capabilities. We have been significantly underestimating your combat doctrine." "Most people do, ma'am," Chen said pleasantly. "They see our light armor and think we're vulnerable. Then the shooting starts and they realize we're not here to take hits, we're here to give them." As the inspection team prepared to leave, Threxmal paused at the door. "One final question, Master Sergeant. What is the human saying about this approach? Chen grinned. We've got a few, my favorite. I'd rather have it and not need it than need it and not have it. We apply that to ammunition, generously. After the aliens departed, Chen returned to her work, organizing the next shipment of gear for the forward deployment. She smiled to herself, thinking about how the other species always seemed so surprised by human tactics. They built better armor. Humans built bigger magazines. They optimized for survival. Humans optimized for victory. And in the end, that made all the difference. Because armor might save your life, but ammunition saves everyone's life. And humans had learned long ago that the best way to survive a fight was to make absolutely certain the other side couldn't continue it. So they carried more bullets, more grenades, more explosives. Not because they were reckless, but because they were thorough. Not because they didn't fear death, but because they feared losing more. The human approach to warfare was simple. Bring enough ammunition that fear becomes irrelevant. And if anyone questioned it, well, the battlefield results spoke for themselves.